What's good, people? What's good? How is it going? Back here again. Another video here. And this one we're gonna talk about inflation. One of your favorite topics here on this channel, inflation. 6.2% inflation. Honestly, the media is just now starting to talk about inflation. People in general are starting to realize, oh, there's like some inflation going on, and they're starting to act on it. To me, it's honestly really surprising how now people are finally worried a little bit about inflation, but a lot of people still aren't. Like the people who had their home prices go up by like 50% in the past 2 years, maybe they're not concerned. I don't know. It is what it is, man. Whatever, I got, it is what it is. Like it's a big area of concern for me, but even the people that it's affecting, they don't really look at these things. So I don't know. It is what it is. To me, I think it's such a huge issue, but so many people just don't really care about this stuff. So like, man, I don't know, man. But whatever. We'll get into the script. So inflation has now hit 6.2% when you look at October's CPI number. That's insane. And what's more is that on this channel, we know that the true number is higher than that, or at least the number is higher when using old methods of calculating CPI. They change the way they calculate it to make it lower. Because each new president, that changes the way it's calculated, wants the numbers to look better for them. So it is what it is. I don't even know what it would be if we were using like the 70s method of calculating CPI. I might do that one video just to do it. But I keep bringing up inflation because that to me is the biggest problem the average person is going to have to deal with in the coming years. And honestly, it has been the biggest problem in a lot of ways that we've had to deal with. It's just that it's finally getting media attention now for the first time since 08-09. The reason I even haven't been worried about it at all is because I wasn't even in the labor force up until like last year. And then I was like, boom. Like, I just noticed it kind of immediately. And actually, to be honest, I even noticed it prior to that, like when I was in college. But I was I was trying to study for my week-to-week exams or whatever, like every couple weeks exams. So I would be like, wait, aren't they printing money on the side? But then I'd be like learning about biology and shit, and physiology and like drugs because I was in pharmacy school. I'd be learning that like with a lot of my time, but then I would be watching these like Mike Maloney videos and things like that. And shout out to Mike Maloney. That's the first dude who I learned any of this stuff from. Like, shout out to that guy. Like, he's the first one that like broke it down. And I was like, that one video he posted, like it's a super old video, it's probably still one of his most popular videos, but that one video that he posted about like open market operations and stuff like that, I think he called it like it was the biggest scam ever or something, like the biggest scam ever perpetrated. Like, you can look that up on YouTube. I was trying to understand that video for like a full like 2 years, I swear. Like, that it was that video that took me out of the thinking that it was the Illuminati and the Rothschilds like manipulating the currency and all that. That was the video that took me from that understanding of the world to like, okay, wait, there's the Federal Reserve, there's central banks, there's something called inflation, there's, all of these things, like how the Treasury works and stuff like that. It was like that video that set me on the path to learning about that stuff, and it took me years to like wrap my brain around that, like to get here. Like, maybe that's why people don't really, worry about inflation, because they haven't watched videos like that. I mean, it still took me years after watching that, so I guess it is a lot to wrap your brain around, and I'm still wrapping my brain around it. But yeah, so getting back to the script, 6.2% overall. And I think it's somewhere around 10% for gas, 10 to 20% for meat products, and almost double digit for dairy products. And these are consumer goods. So forget about the asset inflation like homes, stocks, cryptocurrencies. Some of y'all are into that. Real estate, just shit like that. Forget about asset inflation. Some assets are into the triple digits or high double digits when looking at year over year. Like literally year over year I think home prices went up like so at least 30% or something like that in the past year alone. I forgot what it was, an article I was reading that was saying that, and that's just nuts, man, to me. Like that is hard to even say that, but like it is what it is, man. That's why people say like it's gonna be a renter class and shit like that. Like you'll own nothing and be happy. I'm pretty sure prices are gonna come down for real estate. I'd be shocked if they didn't. Like, and I'm shocked that people are trying to go to war over that. But it is what it is. But y'all already know. Y'all already know that stuff. We've been discussing government and Federal Reserve money printing for months now, and honestly, even we're late to the ball game here on this channel. I started this channel in October 2020, and even at that time I was late. Pandemic era money printing began around the summer of 2020, so the damage in many respects had already been done by that time. We've created around a fifth to a quarter of the entire dollar supply since the summer of 2020. Like the entire dollar supply since 1913 when they started being Federal Reserve notes. Like if you look on the back of your money, it's like Federal Reserve note. Like this is legal tender for all debts, public and private, shit like that. Like it's on the back of your money. And we've printed like a quarter of all of the dollars in circulation since 1913. We printed a quarter of that in the last year. Like in the last year to year and a half. Like just think about that. That is staggering. Like Henry Ford's dollars and like the dollars of today. Like just think about that. Henry Ford's dollars compared to the dollars of today. Like that's staggering. It's been like 100 years around that time. We printed a quarter of the money supply in the last year. So whether you think it was necessary to stimulate the economy during COVID lockdowns or not, the result is still the same: inflation. It takes around 1 to 1.5 years to see the effects of a round of money printing. As that newly created money makes its way through the economy and affects prices in all areas of said economy. So we are about in that range of 1 to 1.5 years since December of 2020. What is it now? It's November of 2021. So the summer of 2020 was around 1.5 years ago. So it looks like we're seeing the effects before us in earnest now. Like all of a sudden here in October, November, people are talking about inflation. Like, what do you know? Right on time. So remember that there has been another 3 or 4, I don't know exactly how many there's been, but there's been another few gigantic government spending packages since the summer of 2020 after they dropped that first huge, I think it was like $1 trillion or something, or like 1.2. I forgot how big it was, but like that first one or two packages they dropped like right as I think like July or something, like June or July, they dropped those first couple spending packages to basically provide money for, like it was supposed to be for businesses that closed, and then also general stimulus package money, like for everybody that, I think everybody in the country kind of that was eligible. I never got any myself, so like, I don't know how they determine if you were eligible, because like I didn't really sign up for that stuff. But like they had those first couple of packages in the summer of 2020, but since then there's been another few. There's been like a 1.2 trillion. There's been like a 3 trillion that they got down. I think that ended up being around like 1.2 trillion as well. And then there was like another like almost 1 trillion. I think it was like 800 billion or something. Like I'm not too sure. Like You can like that shit up. But like, there's been another 3 or 4 huge spending packages with price tags in the trillions of dollars since those first few, like those first couple spending packages in the summer of 2020. So we have some interesting times coming up, is basically what I'm trying to say with that. Like, we waited 1.5 years for like the initial pandemic era spending packages, and now we have a few that happened since then. So now we have, another year to year and a half to witness those. So like 2022 is going to be interesting, 2023 is going to be interesting, and we'll see where this channel gets, and like in all of that time we'll see where this channel gets. Try not to like just like watch what's happening, basically, is like what I'm gonna try to do. I'll try to bring to you guys what I learn. And yeah, I'll leave it there for now. Stay healthy, stay up, and I'll catch y'all later, guys. Peace out.